operating in the market, whether the retail store is an organized firm or unorganized retail store. Now, apart from introduction of retailing analytics, the very first topic, introduction to retailing, and before starting introduction to retailing, being student of fourth semester and student who have chosen marketing as a specialization, I have one personal suggestion to make, and all of you, please listen to me carefully. This is out of syllabus. Perhaps very few faculties will give you suggestions like this. All of you have marketing specialization?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your voice is not coming. Uh, I can hear you, but okay. The entire India's organized retail trading, like shopping mall, supermarket, hypermarket, departmental store, wherein ownership is not given to, or ownership is not dependent on one individual person. Consumer cooperative. These all stores do have shares. Either they are public limited or private limited companies, that way they operate, and that is called as organized retail format, which is only 5% of total India's potential. Another 95% is unorganized retailing. We do purchase milk, bread, newspaper, then certain stuffs or products which are needed on day-to-day basis. Those all buying patterns are from unorganized retail store, where we are known to each other. Retailer is known to us and we are known to retailer. So this is what unorganized retail store is. Now when you are entering into retail trade in organized format, that can build your career in years to come, because this organized format, which is 5% now, is going to increase year by year, 10%, 20%, and more than that. And unorganized retail trade is going to decrease from 95 to 90, 80, 70, and likewise. So I would suggest you people, if you are getting an opportunity to work in places like Shoppers Stop, DMart, or any hypermarket, very giant size hypermarket, please do not lose those opportunities. They are very much essential, and retailing as such has to remain in the market. Without retail trade, no business can go ahead. So this is what relevant to retail trade. The syllabus copy which I have shown on the page, laptop page, if it is visible to you, the very first topic is introduction to retailing. Now, apart from this, I would like to start with the topic retailing in India. Now we have to think of retailing analytics in aspects of Indian market. Within India, as I told you, just 5 to 7% is organized retail. What is meant by organized retail? Those all who are managed by group of people who are not directly owning that retail store. That may be supermarket, hypermarket, departmental store, consumer cooperative, or any space selling like online retailing, ATM, kiosk, vending machine. These all are non-store retail trading. So this is what related to retailing in India is one of the pillars of its economy and account for 10% of its GDP. These all informations are not much updated from 2010, 12 up to 2017. I could get source these informations, and this year recent development in retail trade, that is in February 2021, the federal government of India allowed 74% foreign direct investment in multi-brand retail. Now, up to 2020, it was 50%, 50% from multinational company and 50% from Indian company. So that way it was limited to 50% only. Hence, our organized retail growth was not that fast as it is there in European country or American continent. So this is what retail growth in India, average growth of retail with 50% till 2016-17, and organized retail growth till 2016-17 is 4.8%, not even 5%. So you can imagine how much potential retail trade is having in Indian market. Remaining 90 to 95% retailing is unorganized. Now, organized retail sector is referring with licensed retailers, those who are registered for sales tax, income tax, etc. They include corporate backed hypermarkets, retail chains, and privately owned large retail businesses also. And unorganized retail sector, they do have kirana shops, owner-man general stores, pan bidi shops, convenience stores, hand cart and payment vendors. That is having total share of 95%. Already told you. We have to look into today organized and unorganized retail stores and store based and non-store based retail stores. This is what in introduction sufficient for you. Let's look at the unorganized retail formats which are in Indian market have what they are: haats, mandis, mela, hawkers, and flea market. Haat, mandi, mela, these all are Hindi words, and these haats or mandis or melas as a traditional unorganized format is existing in Indian market almost for 100 years, 100 plus years. They are available in the Indian market. Now, one by one, in unorganized formats, haats and mandis, what they are: mandi in Hindi language means marketplace, sabji mandi, or any other way that we can call it. Traditionally, such marketplaces were for food and agri commodities. As our Indian economy is based on agricultural produce, most of the products which are sold in market, they are agri commodities. Agri commodities include agricultural equipment, vegetables, fruits, fruit vegetables, cereals, grains, and that way many agri commodities relevant to agriculture. Mandis for animals like cattle, goats, horses, they are meant for additional income source, and part of them are meant for transportation also. Horses used to be source of transportation once upon a time. Buffaloes once upon a time used to be for source of milk and milk related products. So this is what relevant to mandis for unorganized retail trading in Indian market. Till to date, these markets do exist in India. Now, features of this particular haats and mandis. This is a common market and oldest form of retailing. With picture, you will come to know what is meant by haats and mandis. They are commonly found anywhere in rural, semi-urban or urban area. Now, mela, by picture, you would have judged or you will get an idea what is meant by this particular unorganized retail trade in India. Mela is a fair gathering of people for variety of entertainment or commercial activities. These melas do have their particular spots in urban and semi-urban market. Once in a year, once in a 6 month, they have these type of melas. And normally the essence of fair that it is temporary with scheduled times lasting from an afternoon to several weeks. A village mela may last up to 3 days, 2 days, max to up to minimum 1 day. And if it is for some semi-urban area, it goes up to 15 days. Now, features of melas are platform for many retailers, shared expenses, place and other basic facilities are shared in expenses. Hawkers, these all hawkers we could see every Sunday or once in a week having their stalls and mostly selling vegetables, fruits and other food related markets and cheaper category of products for common people. Hawker, an individual who sells goods, carrying them through streets, having ordinary methods of attracting attentions and using placards, labels, signs, displaying merchandise in a public place. So this is what relevant to hawkers. Flea market. Flea market is tables are renters of the flea market tables are called as vendors. It may be indoors as in warehouse or school gymnasium, outdoors as in field or parking lot. These all are flea markets. They are selling the products which are not necessarily food or used in day-to-day business. Showpiece kept at home, culinary or craft, art, such type of things are sold by flea market. So mom and pop stores, these stores, by looking at this person, you will get an idea, or by the sacks they are arranged at the front, you will come to know what is meant by mom and pop stores. They are the stores which are easily found nearby our residential areas. Mom and pop stores is the term used for business and companies that are independently owned. An individual is having ownership, his family members, one or two servants helping him. And kirana stores, a small neighborhood retail stores in the Indian subcontinent. These all are mom and pop stores. They have less investment and sole proprietorship. So this is what relevant to unorganized retail format. Horticultural produce retail market in Kolkata, vegetable shop in rural India, kirana stores. Just now we have seen the same picture. Now a fish retail store. They all are traditional unorganized formats. A food staple retailer and a spice market. So this is what relevant to unorganized. Students, you got the idea what is meant by unorganized retail format? Any doubt you have?
No, sir.
Huh?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, in organized retail format, there are certain classifications of organized: ownership and non-store based retail stores. When it comes to ownership, independent stores, chain stores, franchisee, lease department, vertical marketing system, and consumer cooperative. Ownership, again I am repeating, independent stores which are owned by one individual or his family. Chain stores, Bangalore Iyengar Bakery or Hot Chips, they are found everywhere in the India. Franchisee, McDonald's, KFC, Domino's, they all are franchisee. Lease department, vertical marketing system, and consumer cooperative. We have seen Grahak Pet in Pune. You had been to those stores, definitely. They are consumer cooperative. Now non-store based, they are direct marketing, direct selling, vending machine, e-tailing, catalog marketing, and telemarketing. So this is what, there won't be any specific store where consumers are visiting that store and buying things. They are ordering their requirement on phone, by mail, or by other mode of communication, by sending SMS likewise. So now store based retailing, we have convenience store, conventional supermarket, food based supermarket, combination store, box store, warehouse, specialty, variety, departmental, off price, factory outlet, membership. I can guess remembering all these in one go, in one attempt won't be easy, but this is easily available with your retail textbook also. Now when it comes to ownership, independent, chain, franchisee, all these already I have informed you. Independent retailer, now these independent retailers, again like kirana stores, are available in an around our residential area. Okay, independent retailers are owned by one person or by his family members, and number of people serving customers are also limited. Initial investment in independent retail stores is also low, hence the risk of loss is also low. Let's see independent retailers description. An independent retailer is one who builds his business from the ground up. He starts from zero. That may be laundry shop, shoe store, or flower shop. Operates within 25 to 30 square meter area. You can convert it into square feet also. That may be 180 square feet, 200, 240 square feet at the most. Mostly sells grocery, daily needed food items. Now, independent retailers have one common thing, that is they sell most of the time perishable or highly perishable goods, which comes into food category. Cereals, grains, vegetables, fruits, milk, bread, bakery products, everything is included into independent retailer stores. The freedom to do what one wants to do is the biggest advantage in this form of business. A retailer may keep bakery products, cosmetics, beauty products, day-to-day needed products, milk and milk-related products. He may maintain a refrigerator wherein he is storing highly perishable goods also. He is selling newspaper also. So these all factors are relevant with independent retailer. Very easy to understand. What features independent retailers have? Flexibility in choosing retail format and locations. They have most of the time located their stores in residential as well as commercial area. Both the formats they have. They target small consumer segments rather than mass markets. See, every independent retailer, if operating consistently 60 to 100 fixed customer, definitely he is in profit. He maintains one book wherein his customer's name, address, and contact number is mentioned. Once in a month, they are paying his credit bill, previous one, and again buying the next month entire requirement. So they have small target, they target smaller consumer segments in and around area within circumference of half to 1 kilometer. Within one lane, you will find one independent retailer. Another lane, there will be another retailer. That way, within that lane also, if that independent retailer is occupying or convincing customers to buy from his shop, he is quite happy. They have low investment, no furniture or workers or high cost merchandise is used. Independent often act as specialists and acquire skills in niche or for a particular goods or service category. Students, let me not talk in a monotonous way. I want you people also to participate or have clarification whenever you have doubt. The last point which is mentioned in this PPT, niche for a particular goods or service. You heard of niche market? What is meant by niche market? NICHE. Any idea you have? Please respond.
It's a market for a high-end products where a fewer people or buyers are available for it.
Now, niche is a segment of market where products sold to customers with extra premium. All of you who are attending right now online session must be having mobile along with SIM card with one number. Where is in mobile market niche segment is found? There is a customer segment in mobile market wherein people want VIP number. What it is? Last 6 digit 223344. Last 6 digit or 8 digit they want, like 00112233. Now, for that reason, and to get that type of specific VIP number, they are ready to pay extra charges than regular price of SIM card. So their SIM number has to be VIP or specific. This is what relevant to niche market. The same is applicable for number plate of vehicles, maybe two-wheeler, maybe four-wheeler. Now there is one magazine, Overdrive. This magazine, Overdrive, is having about to get launched new vehicles, four-wheelers, sport utility vehicle, family passenger vehicle, then sedan segment vehicle. Likewise, within four-wheeler, whatever segments they are, if there are some new vehicles about to get launched, that Overdrive magazine do include them and give information about features and prices of those vehicles. This Overdrive as a magazine is preferred to be bought by all vehicle lovers, which are higher middle class and rich class of this society. So this is what relevant to niche marketing. Decision making in these stores is centralized. Now, because these variety of stores are too many, I will go little fast. Chain stores. Chain stores operates multiple outlets under common ownership. This could be considered as Bata, Bangalore Iyengar Bakery, Hot Chips, or for that sake, any company outlet operated in entire country. In India, apt example for this retail is Bata shoes, Usha sewing machines. Such multiple shops have centralized buying with decentralized selling. So this is what relevant to chain stores. Now, franchisee, very easy to understand. At the most, you must have visited places like McDonald's, Domino's, KFC, Cafe Barista, Cafe Coffee Day. They all are franchisee. Franchising is a contractual agreement between franchisor and franchisee that allows the franchisee to operate a retail outlet using name and format developed and supported by franchisor. Now, in franchisee contract, the franchisee pays a lump sum plus what they are paying, security deposit and royalty, and all sales for the right to operate a store in a specific location. Now, one simple question I would like to ask. You can quote McDonald's franchisee within Pune at what location they are? Yes, please.
Sir, can you repeat the question, please?
McDonald's pizza outlet is located in Pune at what location? Where it is? McDonald's is where in Pune?
Almost every standard location, known location.
Specific one. Please, I know where it is.
It can be, we can say Sihagarh Road, Deccan, FC Road.
Yeah, Jangli Maharaj Road's end,
Yeah.
isn't it? Deccan.
Yes.
Deccan is very popular one. Now, if you had been to this Jangli Maharaj Road from that Pashankar Auto till Deccan, you will find almost all multinational retail brands plus Indian retailers plus franchises plus chain stores, whichever example of retail, organized retail trade, you will find everything is available there. Got it? And the way we have discussed, Hart, Mela, Mandi, those unorganized stores are also there on Jangli Maharaj Road. From Pashankar Auto up to Deccan, up to the statue of Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj. So this is what really wanted to franchisee. Even Maruti Suzuki's franchisee Sai Service is available in Pune at several places. Toyota, who was the biggest franchisor for Toyota in Pune?
DSK.
Yeah, and what is the full form of DSK? DS Kulkarni.
DS.
Now the DS Kulkarni is very notorious one. He is behind the bars. In his construction business, he couldn't do well, perform some illegal activities, and now bankrupt. So he is out of show when it comes to DSK. Other Toyota franchises have taken maximum advantage of this. When we were talking of Toyota in Pune, Toyota as an individual name was never taken. It was always said DSK Toyota, DSK Toyota. So these all are franchises. Now let's not go into franchisee, because franchises are very popular, branded, and having advertising, lots of money are spent on advertising, and credibility of that popular name or image is taken advantage by franchisor. So these all things are as a feature available with franchisee. Lease department store. Shopper Stop is having Crossword, a lease department store for books within a departmental store. Crossword as a shop is known to you, and Crossword is within Shopper Stop. One more question. Where is Shopper Stop in Pune?
FC Road.
Ferguson
FC
College
Road.
Road.
Yeah.
Yeah. And within Shopper Stop, you must be able to get Crossword. Now, a lease department is a department in a retail store rented generally by a manufacturer. The Shopper Stop credibility, popularity, and number of customers coming in is taken advantage by Crossword, that lease department store. Now, lease department choose to operate in categories that are generally on the fringe of the store's major product line, such as in-store, beauty salons, banks, photographic studios, and food courts. So these all are features of lease department store. As there are many varieties within organized, unorganized, store, non-store, I am going little bit faster. So this is one introduction. Vertical marketing system. Here we have producer, wholesaler, retailer, and consumer within vertical marketing system. Now from producer, it goes to warehouse or carrying and forwarding agent. From carrying and forwarding agent, it goes to wholesaler. Then it may go to sub stockist, agent, or distributor. And from distributor, it may come to retailer. And from retailer, it may come to consumer. This is not the ideal chain which is shown in figure. That may be little bit lengthier also in vertical marketing system, wherein the main members of distribution channel are producer, wholesaler, and retailer. So this is what VMS. What VMS features do have? When company resources are low, and channel members want to share cost and risk, such an arrangement is desirable. When it comes to vertical marketing system, one advantage I would like to share with you all here, in VMS, availability of product is always taken care, because entire chain from manufacturer up to retailer is working as a team. And when wholesaler is taking into consideration buying quantity, if retailer is buying 10 units, wholesaler is buying 300 units, because like one retailer, there may be within his territory another 30, 50 and 100 retailers who are buying 10, 5, 10, 5 units. So wholesaler has to keep very large quantity with him. Retailer break that bulk and make available that particular product in for his surrounding. So this is what relevant to vertical marketing system. Now vertical marketing system do have corporate system like DHL, Bata, contractual system like NIIT, McDonald's, and administered VMS like Ford and Tata. So this is what relevant to VMS. Last one, in store-based or organized retail trade, consumer cooperative. You had been to Grahak Pet. Where is Grahak Pet in Pune?
In front of SP College.
Yes, only one student going out in the Pune, even in this lockdown, I think so. Rest all are just listening. A consumer cooperative is a retail firm in which group of consumers invest the enterprise and the officers are elected. This consumer cooperative movement for Maharashtra is not new. There used to be one store by name Janta Bazaar. Janta Bazaar was founded by the then MLA, Dr. Ratnappa Kumbar. In 1935, he started this consumer cooperative movement. We are getting milk many a times with specific brand because of this consumer cooperative movement only. Now, what is the motto behind consumer cooperative? Why we should get fooled being customer? We customers will come together, we will form our group, we will register, and whatever requirement we have, we will make an arrangement of store and we will buy it. Most of the consumer cooperative are keeping products which are need based, like cereals, grains, vegetables, milk related products, and most of the food products. So this is what relevant to consumer cooperative, and they are available at much cheaper rate than that of other stores. It's quite possible that chain store is keeping rice available at the rate 60 rupees kg. The same brand in consumer cooperative is available at 54 rupees. So this is relevant to consumer cooperative purpose, making available product much cheaper than that of open market. The consumer cooperative are limited because consumers are usually not expert in buying, handling and selling goods and services, and the cost saving and low selling prices have not been as expected in many cases. Apna Bazaar, this is Mumbai's Apna Bazaar. This one is a consumer cooperative started by workers from Mumbai area. Grahak Pet, this particular picture is from Pune only. This is Grahak Pet, a consumer cooperative. Now store-based retailing, wherein a store is selling product or services to customers. I will go one by one. Convenience store. Now very simple thing. Even if you are looking at picture, I would quote example. If you had been to university campus, our SPPU university, in and around university, you will find stationery stores open at 10 or 11 in the night also. Why it must be open at late night? Because many students are busy in their lecture and other academic schedule for entire day, and whatever time they get to buy their required product, that is at late night. So for them, most of the campuses wherein educational courses are conducted, within that educational courses conducted area, you will find net cafe, stationery store, mess, or other required items for students, and those stores are open till late night. Now convenience stores are selling product like eggs, bread, milk. When a retailer is selling milk, either he is required to keep his shop open late night or he is required to open his shop early morning. Why? Because bread, milk like products are needed early in the morning. They are open as per convenience of customers. That's why they are called as convenience stores. Found in residential area, a one-stop shop of that particular area. Conventional supermarket, food bazaar, quite known name for we all. They are large self-service stores having complete line of food and non-food product. Then features of features of conventional supermarket, they are usually located or near primary or secondary shopping area. They use mass displays of merchandise. Merchandise means products which are kept in retail store, normally operate as cash and carry store. They make their appeal on the basis of low price, wide selection of product, nationally advertised brands, and convenient parking. This is what the features of conventional supermarket. Food-based supermarket, Reliance Fresh. Once upon a time, Reliance Fresh was very popular one. Later on, they went out of market. Hardly few retail outlets of Reliance Fresh are available now. Reliance Fresh came up with the concept of making available fresh vegetables, fresh fruits to local market, but they couldn't do well. Perception of customers for Reliance Fresh was they must be selling at higher rate than open market. That's the reason people rarely went to Reliance Fresh. These stores are, very name implies, sell grocery items and offer customers the ability to buy, fill in general merchandise. By looking at the picture, you must have come to know what is meant by food-based supermarkets. Impulse purchase. Impulse purchase which is not planned. Departmental store. Most of the departmental stores having wide range of consumer goods in different categories, and departmental store made a dramatic appearance in the middle of 19th century. Today, departments often include clothing, furniture, home appliances, toys, cosmetics, houseware, gardening, toiletries, sporting goods, and many other types of hardwares also. Additionally, they are having food, books, jewelry, electronics, stationery, and photographic equipment. These all are the contents or availability of products in departmental store. Shoppers Stop is a departmental store wherein all of these products are available. Within Pimpri Chinchwad area, you will find many departmental stores. Big Bazaar, Walmart are called as departmental stores also. Walmart is the John Walton's started in 1951 in US. You will get surprised to know the total turnover of Walmart is multifold than our Indian budget. India's 1 year, one financial year budget is much lesser than Walmart's annual turnover. You may imagine how much big size stores and how many chains they do must be having within America. So this is what really wanted to departmental store. They are integrated stores having operations in addition to other retail stores. Goods are divided into different classes. I have already quoted few names. They are stores distinguished by the nature of goods they sell and not by the varieties they keep. For example, drug and variety stores carry a wide variety of goods. So these all are features. Hypermarket. Hypermarket are the biggest sized organized retail stores. When we have to quote example, hypermarket offers a large basket of products ranging from grocery, fries and processed food, beauty and healthcare products. The combination of supermarket and departmental store. So they are by size the biggest one and the largest one. They are box stores, limited store, food-based stores, has limited shopping hours and limited stocks also. Warehouse. They are large stores that sell large quantity of products at low prices. Now, warehouse stores as such not much appealing in Indian market. Warehouse stores are very much popular in European and American market. Warehouses are selling merchandise in bulk and they do not require a membership or membership fees. Off-price retailer are special sale. They are selling branded product merchandise at regular retail price. Their discount and other things are there. Now they give discounted prices of off-price retailers. Specialty stores. One example I would like to quote here. Titan wristwatches is a specialty store from Tata. Now, apart from wristwatches, they are coming in the market with specs also. All specs related products are sold by Tata. Specialty stores are having single category and focusing on individuals and group clusters of the same class with high product loyalty. That is footwear stores, gift stores. They do have depth in the type of product that they specialize in selling. If you go to Titan, you will find a wristwatch amounting from 5,000 rupees up to 1.25 lakh stores. Now, Tanishq, again from Tata, is a jewelry store where you can buy 2-gram gold jewelry up to 20 gram and 50 gram and 100 gram also. They are specialty stores. Variety stores. A variety store is also pound shop or dollar store. It's a retail store, sells a wide range of inexpensive household goods. These all household goods are sold in variety stores. They are available in different types of varieties. Variety store often have product line with food, drink, personal hygiene, small home and garden tools, office supplies, decorations, electronics, toys, pet supplies, and motor and bike consumables. So this is all variety stores. Factory outlet. Any factory outlet example you can quote here within Pune or Pimpri Chinchwad. You had been to any factory outlet, any brand? Yes, students.
Home decor, I think, sir.
Which one?
Home decor, furniture.
Home Depot furniture.
Home decor.
Okay. Where it is located?
It's into Harapsar as well as on Mumbai
Okay.
Pune highway also.
Even factory outlet as Levi's do have, but Levi's don't have in Pune. Levi's, this photo is from out of India market. Factory outlet is having a specific purpose. They don't want to share profit margin, like in vertical marketing system, with wholesaler and retailer. When factory outlet is located in any area or that way spread out throughout the country, they are selling at much cheaper rate than any retail store. Now, outlet store or factory outlet is a brick and mortar online store in which manufacturers sell their stock directly to the public, cutting out the middlemen. Their profit margin is not shared by wholesaler and retailer. Nike is also having factory store. Membership club, they are customers may be required to pay annual membership fees in order to shop. When membership clubs are operating independently, when it comes to other stores like More or even Big Bazaar, they also give membership, but their category of retail store is different than membership club store. Membership in Indian market is as a facility available with almost all organized retail store. If a customer is going on regular basis, they will be giving him one card.
अभी करेगा क्या? अभी नहीं होगा शायद रात भर करने से कल को सुबह होगा.
Hello, please unmute yourself, students. So they are required to pay an annual fee and membership given to those who are regular basis buyer. So this is what relevant to membership club stores having limited lines of brand name and dealer brand at substantial discount. So this is what relevant to organized and non-organized stores in retail introduction. So I was supposed to take it a bit faster because the number of varieties for these stores were too many. Now, when introduction to retailing, we have seen different types of organized and unorganized store and non-store based stores. Now, non-store based retailing, what it is, when we go to ATM machine, it is a non-store. Online, you are booking train ticket online. That is what non-store based retailing. When you are buying movie tickets for INOX or for that sake, any example you can take, you can buy online. You can do shopping for Amazon, Flipkart, or for that sake, order food from Zomato or any other particular agency. That one is called as non-store retailing. So please remember, these days market potential and number of customers for non-store retailing are increasing. Swiggy, Zomato is selling and providing services for food-based market. Amazon, Flipkart, and there are many online shopping sites which are giving attractive discounts for any category of product, any branded product, and that is delivered to your doors. A door delivery as a facility is available. That saves your time, effort, and transportation cost also. So non-store retailing do have its advantage as well as disadvantage. When it comes to non-store retailing, you cannot touch, smell, or look the product by taking it into your hands. Bargaining as such will not have any chance for non-store retailing. There would be sufficient discount given and fixed prices after discount you have to pay. Vending machine, then kiosk, these all things are non-store retailing. So this is what relevant to the first introduction to retailing, the types of retailer, store, non-store, organized, non-organized retailers. The next topic in next session I will be conducting is new retail environment and market decisions. This new retail environment, what we call will be relevant to online retailing, customers' taste and preferences, likes and dislikes, choices what they are making now. If they want to visit the store as a choice, or they want door delivery, such type of trends, the new trends which are coming in retail sector will be discussed in next session. Now, this particular subject is having 2 credits, and it is elective, retailing analytics in business analytics. So this way you will be having your 50 marks university external exam, and another 2 electives also you will be having, isn't it? Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So you have to prepare yourself, and every other subject you are studying, at least in my case, the way I am carrying one copy of syllabus. How many chapters they are? Total 5 chapters. And I would like to suggest some textbooks where retail analytics with exact title that way of our subject, The Secret Weapon, Emmett Cox, Business Analytics, or the retailing of what is Valerie Zitmal and Merizo Bittner. That also as a book is quite good. These all are suggested textbooks. At least one you do have in your collection. There are 5 topics. Every topic is having 5 sessions plus 1 session for tutorial, practical, or case study. So this way you have to go ahead. One by one we will be going in retailing analytics. Yesterday and day before yesterday, I have conducted enterprise performance management lecture. Now I am spending just 2-3 minutes for that particular subject explanation. That particular subject is having 3 credits, and out of 6, 1 core subject with title 401. All subjects will not have some interesting factors. Certain subjects do have accounting, finance, or calculation formulas. Certain subjects do have description which is of importance, but not like retail, sales, advertising, marketing. That is of different type. So whenever this particular EPM lecture I am conducting, there may be formulas relevant to finance. So all marketing students, do not have worry. You don't have to solve any specific example or numerical. Only explanation of financial terms in writing you have to mention. Another hint I am giving you here. There will be 5 questions asked of 10 marks each. Whenever you are writing retailing analytics, university paper, or enterprise performance management, you do write in a moderate way explanation for the question asked, but do not forget to mention one example. Now, when it comes to organized retailing, if a question is relevant to organized retailing, you can add up features, characteristics, but you have to mention at least 2 types of organized retailers. That may be supermarket, that may be hypermarket, that may be departmental store, whatever it may be. But example as such you have to quote. When you are quoting example for one particular question asked, and you are giving explanation theoretically, it is leaving impression that you understood that particular concept. Yes, Mr. Mutha, anything you want to say?
Sir. Yes, sir. Sorry to interrupt. Just I wanted to tell you that the university exam which is going to be held is into MCQ pattern this time. There is no theoretical paper for us, sir. There would be 50 MCQs.
I am talking in general terms. This example, this exam is of a specific nature with multiple choice questions. Of course, it will be Now, because you are in the final semester and your exam of multiple choice questions will be there, for preparation of your multiple choice question paper or examination, you need to be thoroughly doing study along with example. Now, a question in multiple choice questions may be relevant to convenience stores. You will come to know convenience stores as option when you have studied convenience stores features in theory in detail. When it comes to appearing for MCQ, your descriptive study, your theoretical or textbook study should be thoroughly done. That is what I mean to say. Just because you are writing convenience store, it shouldn't be luck game. Just because you feel you are writing convenience store. No, before writing convenience store as an option, please do know. Please try to understand what is meant by convenience store. Now, it's quite possible that question is given like in a manner that a store around educational premises or in a residential area is remaining open till late night at 11:30, and this particular store is called as, and options are A, B, C, D. Okay, Mutha, you got me what I am saying?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So that way you should be known which stores are open late night. They are convenience store. Why they are called as convenience store? Because they are open as per convenience of their customers. Convenience here is for customers, because whole day customers themselves are busy in their own work. They do not get time to come and visit the stores in their routine life. Only time what they getting is either early morning or late evening. That's the reason they are called as convenience stores. So this is what relevant with your MCQ type questions. We will practice MCQ questions also for retailing analytics, enterprise performance management, and enterprise performance management is strongly connected with finance and accounts without any numericals. When you will be appearing your MCQ, you will not be having any example or calculative example asked for your final exam. Within 1 hour or 1.5 hours, you will be appearing for exam, but MCQ requires also in-depth preparation. Only two chances are there when it comes to MCQ, either right or wrong. So I have just given explanation for your two subjects. It's time for me to close now, and we will again meet on Monday 6 to 7. Okay, bye for now.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome.